especially like in this sport, you're gonna suck for a long time. And even when you think you're decent, like there's still people that are way better than you and it's not even close. So it's just like you said, just work on it over and over the years and you'll eventually get there. It's like
Hello and welcome back to the Refined Real Estate Podcast. I'm your host, Ian Armour, joined by my co-host, Manny. And after a little bit of a break, we're finally glad to get back at her. So we appreciate all of you that were listening constantly. We're going to be back and we're going to be doing this every week. So thank you guys for listening. Manny, what is going on?
Not too much, man. I'm happy to be back. I've had people reach out to me and ask, where did we go? Why did we stop? And I didn't really have a good reason. It was just sometimes a little breaks needed from the social media world, but we're back. We're back and better than ever. We'll be posting every single week. We're going to have some amazing guests on. We have quite the hefty list of people that are ready to jump on and teach you guys and tell you about their amazing stories. But yeah, in my life, man, obviously we're working on our stuff in the States. We're stabilizing that first 100 units that we bought last year. We have an exciting LOI out on a building right now. We'll talk about that a little bit more on future episodes. Keep your ears listening and tuned into the show to hear about the juicy details of that one. I was able to sell one triplex. I had that one on the market back in November and it was accepted offer right away, but it just took a long time to close because I had to do some work to the sewer scope on the outside of the building. But the general contractor that was lined up to do the work, every single time it would snow, they'd have to put me on hold for like 2 weeks. It was unbelievable. And this year happens to be like the worst snowy year that we've had in Halifax since we were teenagers. So that delayed everything, but thank God everything finally closed and everything's good now. I'm working on some business acquisitions in my life outside of the real estate stuff. But yeah, those are the big things, man. I can dive into all of those things individually for a long time, but we'll just keep it general for now. What about yourself, man? How's things been over the past couple months?
Yeah, things have been great. Busy with my current businesses, as you're more than well aware. We've been doing lots of stuff down in the States, so that's been going really well. We have our weekly meetings. We have calls throughout the week, and it's really been something that we've. In the beginning, it took a lot of time just to get our system set up. What I mean by that is just our means of communication with our property managers, how we're tracking everything from, before and after photos to, the invoices to the list of work that's upcoming. With like a duplex or something like that, it's all stuff that you can pretty much keep in your head and know, okay, I got to do this, and this. But when you have 100 units, like we really needed a system there. So it took us a few months to get to where we are now, just from even a communication standpoint within the business. And I feel like now, we're really well set up. We're seeing the progress that we were hoping for by this point. And like you said, we're ready to go shopping again. So as of now, some of you guys might be listening to this podcast while we are actually back down in Cleveland, checking out our next potential project. So we'll probably wait, probably another week or two till we really dive in on that. We just have an offer in, and they requested that we come down and walk the building. So feeling pretty optimistic about it. Once we get a little further down that path, we'll really fill in the details there. But high level, this is one of the better deals I've ever had the opportunity to underwrite. So feeling quite optimistic about it.
As am I. It's going to be a juicy one for sure. And just about the systems things that you mentioned there, it's so integral, especially as you scale. Like you think when you do it for yourself, in the small multi-space or even like, 1 to 20 units. But once you start getting into the 100 units or 200 units or even further, depending on how big you want your portfolio to be, The systems that you have in place are so integral. The team that you have around you is so integral. The property managers, like, it's so important. There's a reason why a lot of these buildings that we have bought are from distressed sellers that have been poorly managed, because they realized taking on buildings of this size when you aren't a professional property owner, you're going to have problems. You're going to have issues. And then you eventually just get burnt out and have to sell it. And that's when guys like us come in, scoop it up and buy it at a discount. So yeah, it's been a pleasure to work with our property managers over the past couple of months to kind of really dial everything in, because now we are ready to explode. We have our team down there, and even as we grow, our property managers will probably have to grow. Their team will have to expand, and they're all about expansion as well. Just like us, they want their business to grow. They want their portfolio to grow. So when you work with an investor that has similar goals to you and you're aligned, it's just like it's a perfect symmetry. And now I'm excited what the next few years will bring with us in that market.
Yeah, absolutely. So stay tuned for that. We'll do a bit more of a deal deep dive on that. And we'll have lots of pictures and videos and everything to share on that. So yeah, stay tuned for that. What else is going on in my life is, my real estate side of things as a realtor. So, that's something that, a new thing that I've done, right when we were finishing up, recording last time on the podcast is when I, really got my license. So now it's been, been a few months, and, really enjoying that side of things. It's just so nice because, yes, I'm a new realtor, but I've been in real estate for how many years now? I've seen all sorts of different problems. So it's something where I feel good because clients will come to me with questions on things that, I've done myself personally, like hundreds of times. So it's been a great fit in that. I already sold a handful of houses, and people are using those as investment type properties. So again, to guide them through, I've already got the spreadsheets for them to use. I've already got the checklists. Like again, being an investor for as long as I have, it's just such a natural transition. So really been liking that. If anyone is in need of a realtor or wants to start shopping for a good income property, that is my wheelhouse. So happy to help in that regard. And then just from like the realtor business side of it, you just have so many realtors out there that are either doing it part-time or not necessarily treating it like a business. So for me, it was like, I already have other businesses. I'm applying similar type stuff to them, like CRMs, marketing, all that stuff. It's like, able to take my knowledge of all the other things that I have going on and really condense it into one space where I really can provide a lot of value. So really been enjoying that side of thing. Still in the mortgage brokerage world as well. So, we do some pretty cool stuff with that. Some big projects, some little projects. So, again, any of that type of stuff, I'm just a call away. So happy to help. And finding too, a lot of people that are just flirting with the idea of getting into real estate investing and have no idea where to start. It's like, those are the types of clients that, I can absolutely help you build a little bit of a roadmap to help you get to where you want to go and just get everything in order. So again, this side of business, I'm very much so enjoying it. So
no, that's awesome. And I think it is so important for any new or already established investor to work with a real estate agent that knows the investing world like you do, because I don't want to talk down on any realtor. I think they're all great, but it's like some of them, it's so clear that they don't own any real estate. They may have helped somebody buy a real estate investment, but they don't know the intricacies, right? They don't know the world in and out. They just know how to buy and how to sell. And that's what a realtor is, right? A lot of them, they're just sales. That's all they do. They're just, and it's to make, a profit for themselves and their clients. But in investing, there's so many nuances to things, negotiating tactics, how to run numbers properly, safely, with being conservative, little things like that, having exit plans, having multiple exit plans, all these things in place. And when you are an investor, especially if you're a brand new investor and you don't know these things, if you just work with a real estate agent that doesn't know all the intricacies of investing and all the risks that are a part of it, then you can get in trouble. You can find yourself in quite a pickle. So working with guys like Ian or someone that actually owns real estate, it is imperative. So I think it's great that there's guys like you in the field, and I think you'll do well in the field. I'm excited to see your client base grow. And if any of you listening to this need a real estate agent, and do you do outside of Halifax? Is there Halifax mainly? Yeah. So just Nova Scotia, eh?
Yeah, most of Nova Scotia. Again, I'm not trying to sell someone their house up on the hill in Yarmouth, but if you're looking to buy, a multifamily building down there or something down there, it's like, yeah, by all means, I'd be happy to help you guys out. Because I guess the other side of it is like most realtors can go and walk you through and take you, to a property, and that's great if that's what you're looking for. But if it is an investment, it's like I can run the numbers. Again, we're investing thousands of miles away in Cleveland. It's the same thing. It's like if the numbers work and you can make that project work, then yeah, by all means, I'd be happy to take it to the next step and actually go check out the property. And again, my years of experience in the construction industry, I can walk into a project no problem and say, yeah, your floor joists are rotten and you need whatever it is. So, but again, the skill that really would set me apart would be analyzing the numbers on something like that. It's okay, what's our cash flow? Where are we going to be? As well as negotiating with tenants. Like that's something that I can guarantee very few realtors out there have any experience with. And, I've got about 120 units now. A lot of those have been a lot of turnover. So that's certainly an area that I have a lot of experience in.
No, big time, man. I always remember this one story. This one realtor gave me a call one time. He's like, Manny, I got a great deal. It's an off-market triplex. They want $950,000. I'm like, what the hell? Like, how do you think this is a good deal? How are you equipped, to help people buy real estate investments? Mind you, there's nuance to this. Like, that could have been a good deal. If all the comps were like 1.5, 1.7 mil, whatever, sure, that 950 would have been a good deal, but it was not. It was not a good deal. It was outside of the city. But no, it's important. And like you said too, your experience in the contracting world that's invaluable as well. If they need their roof done, it's like, how much this roof is going to cost. Little things like that. Or even better, you have a roofing company that can do the roof for them. So little things like that, I think it's going to be a big help for you and your clients.
Yeah. So what else is going on with you?
Outside of the real estate stuff and just the business world, man, I found a new passion in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I'm sure you're aware of that. This is like it's my favorite thing, man. It's an amazing sport, and it's so crazy how I kind of came into this. It was back in August, so I was in Ottawa, doing the coaching training for Wealth Genius, and one of my mentors there, his name is Luis Rivas. He said to me, he's like, we were just sitting there chatting at lunchtime, just about some of our hobbies. I'm like, I play basketball, read, and all that stuff. I asked him, what do you do? He's like, I do jiu-jitsu. I'm like, jiu-jitsu, interesting. I've never even thought about that. And then when I came back to Halifax, I called up my buddy Dave, because I knew Dave had been doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for, quite a few years now. And I just asked him, where do you train? And I went there, and boy, it's an addicting little sport. I went there knowing nothing. I was getting my ass kicked, or my butt kicked. I don't know. You can, I don't know if we're allowed to swear on the Star podcast, I guess. We can say whatever we want. But I was just getting destroyed for like months and months, and my body was so sore. My ribs, my back, my ankles, my wrists, my fingers. Your fingers get destroyed. But I'd still go back. The only time I would not be sore is when I was training. I'd go home, be sore. I'd go train, and then I'd not be sore, and I'd love it. And then the moment I stopped training, I'm sore again. It was like, this is kind of like what crack is, You only feel good when you're doing the thing, and every other time you're feeling terrible. But mind you, it's been several months now, and my body's totally adjusted, and I don't really get sore anymore. But it's a fun sport. I think at some point, I'd like to have the guy that owns the gym on our podcast at some point, and just talk about that business model. I'm sure he would do it. His name's Joel, and his business partner Josh. They're great guys. They're black belts locally. But yeah, it's a fun sport. I think if anybody is into any kind of combat sports outside of just like the physical aspect, I think there's like a self-defense component too that's so important. It's great knowing that if someone was to attack you or mug you on the streets, you have the physical tools and the capabilities to defend yourself, and not so much like harm them, but like control them. You can control them until the cops show up or whatever it may be. But it's so great to be able to feel safe. But yeah, that's. You came with me one time and you hurt your ankle. So it's crazy, man. I had another buddy of mine. He came for maybe a couple of weeks and somebody gave him a nice little hip toss and he busted up his ribs and he's been out for the past month or two. So all my buddies that come with me get hurt, but it's a fun sport. I think everybody should give it a try.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely enjoyed my time there. But yeah, walked away of the training fine, completely fine. And then my ankle just kept getting worse, like day after day after day, to the point where I couldn't put any weight on it. Ended up getting an x-ray, and they said basically I had broken my ankle years ago, which was news to me. And that just the way that it healed, it just didn't, it just means I'm very prone to like an ankle sprain now, which again, news to me. I guess that's part of the shame of getting older, but here we are. So I definitely do want to go back and join you. I really enjoyed it. The class I did end up going to was like a takedown class.
Yeah.
And I've got a wrestling background, did it like all through high school, and then obviously went on to play rugby and football, all that stuff. So like it was just tackling for me.
Yeah, you were just dummying dudes. The coach had to tell you to ease up.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was fun to see.
Yeah.
I think I told him, I'm like, this guy, like once he understands technique, he's going to be a problem. So we got to take advantage while we can now, while you still suck.
Yeah, exactly. Because that was it. It was like I'd get a guy down on the ground and then I'd be like, well, I have no idea what to do now. So,
and you were exhausted. You were gassed after our roll.
Yeah. So like I'm an active person. Like I go to the gym every day, but like anyone that's ever done any wrestling or judo or like anything where your body's like constantly engaged, like they know like that's just a whole different level of fitness. And yeah, I can go lift a lot of weight and all that stuff, but to constantly be involved like that, it's like, yeah, that's going to take some training to get used to. So
100%, yeah, even for myself. Yeah, good. But yeah, even for me, like I've been training pretty hard for the past few months. Like my cardio's still not where it needs to be. But yeah, it just comes with time and working on it. But no, it's good. It's a good sport. And outside of like the physical and the self-defense thing, I heard one guy describe jiu-jitsu for like a business perspective, how it teaches you how to stay calm when you're in bad situations, you know? Like imagine you're in a row with somebody and they're just sitting on your chest and like they're about to destroy you. Like this is incredibly uncomfortable. But if you can just breathe and just stay calm throughout that and just figure out your next move, it goes well with business or real estate or anything in real life where things get hard, things get tough. But if you can just stay calm and breathe and just kind of figure out, methodically what to do next, it's the good skill to have.
Oh, absolutely. And like there's obviously a huge correlation between, just being physically active and pursuing, any sort of training in any field. It's so many direct skills. It's that consistency. It's that thirst to get better. It's that, getting in the extra work, the mental work, the physical work. It's like so relatable to any business. And I, again, can attribute a lot of my success to my background in doing high level athletics. Like, when you're part of a team or even in individual sports, it's like that, if you put in the work, like you're certainly going to get what it is that you want out of the work that you're doing. So, yeah, anyone that has any passion and commits to anything, that they're typically people that are going to translate that into achieving really good things in the business world as well. So
100%. Even like just the delayed gratification of it, especially like in this sport, you're gonna suck for a long time. And even when you think you're decent, like there's still people that are way better than you and it's not even close. So it's just like you said, just work on it over and over the years and you'll eventually get there. It's like Kobe Bryant, again, I'm a big basketball fan. He always talked about how like he'd get in the gym. This is like, you'd hear the craziest stories about him, the stuff that he'd do. Like he'd wake up at like 2 a.m., go to the gym, come home, sleep for a little bit, eat breakfast, go to the gym, sleep a little bit more. Like he'd go to the gym or play basketball like 4 or 5 times a day compared to that one guy that just goes once a day for a couple of hours. And he's like, if you think about it, him going 4 times a day versus that guy going once a day over a week time, over a month, a year, 2 years, 10 years, that just the gap between his skill and that guy will be exponential because of the work that he puts into it. But you're right, man. People that do high level athletics, they are hardwired to be able to dominate in pretty much any other field. If they take that motivation and dedication that they have in one craft and just kind of pivot and put it into a business, they'll be unstoppable.
Absolutely. No, it's yeah, so often you see that too. So yeah, definitely.
Cool. I guess, we can talk about do you want to talk about the roofing stuff a little bit? You want to tell the people what we got working on?
Yeah, we could dive into it high level. I mean, Manny in his pursuit of acquiring some more business, and me sitting over here with a business. We're going down the path of seeing what it would look like to bring Manny in on the team as well. We've got a wicked group of guys already involved in it, so it's Manny and I are working together on so much other stuff that it's like just seems like a good fit. So very excited about that coming up.
Same here. And then we'll have our buddy Tim, who's obviously another very integral part of that endeavor. He'll be on a podcast, I'm sure, here in the following weeks to kind of just talk about his role and just, his vision of entrepreneurship. He was on a previous episode back, several months back for AI when we were just rambling on about, crazy stuff, which it's still crazy, by the way. AI is still, I don't know.
It's even more crazy now.
So crazy. And like the stock company, NVIDIA, I don't know if our listeners know much about this company, but they create AI chips. This company's on the craziest bull run that I think I've ever seen. It's potentially single-handedly holding the stock market up. Like its market cap, I think it's like the 3rd biggest company in the world now. It's like Microsoft and Apple are the only ones that are bigger than it. Or I forget if it's in front of Google, but it might be in front of Google. It passed Facebook. It's just ridiculous. And it's solely backed on AI. And some people think it's a bubble. I personally don't think so. I think AI is something that's going to change the world. So especially until NVIDIA, this one specific company, has like a major competitor, which they don't. I don't see anything changing. The guy that's the CEO of OpenAI, Sam Altman, I read a post the other day that he's thinking about creating a chip manufacturing company, and he wanted to raise like $1 trillion for it. Trillion with a T. So it's like we've passed like the billion mark. But that's how big these companies are, right? Like they need vast amounts of money to kind of do what they want to do and collect the amount of data they need to collect. But anyway, that's a tangent. But AI, it's not going anywhere, folks. It's only going to get crazier and crazier.
Yeah, you see just all the different applications they have of it now too. Like again, not to go back down this ramp. We'll do another AI update podcast in the coming weeks, but like some of the videos that they can do now, some of the like the generation of like people's voices and stuff, like they can do whole videos of like Elon Musk walking down like a hallway talking about whatever it is that you want him to talk about. It's like, it's insane. And then like from like a applicational or like a how we can apply it is like in the realtor world, like you can AI listing photos, like it's the virtual staging, but now like AI will like do it in a way that has better feng shui or has better lighting or whatever it may be. So it's like yeah, it's only going to get more and more. And uh, yeah, it's just crazy. And like, we're going to look back and like not even realize like how far this stuff's going to go. But yeah, no, it's certainly exciting to be, bearing witness of it all.
100%. I remember at the start, I was I was almost scared of how crazy it was, and I thought about like worst case scenarios of this thing taking over the world and stuff. And I think that's maybe not an unrealistic thing, but it's silly to even really consider right now. Like, there's no point being afraid of something that might not happen in our lifetime. So just enjoy it while you can. Take advantage of it, like we've been doing through whatever it may be, ChatGPT, all the other things that are out there. Utilize it, and it'll optimize whatever business that you're in. Dude, even if you don't have a business, you can just have ChatGPT and just talk to it. And it's not even that crazy, but the fact that I can speak to it with my voice and then a voice speaks back to me when I'm asking it, I don't know why I find that crazy. Before, I'd have to type it and then I'd have to read it. But now I just speak it and it speaks back to me. And it's just wild. I don't know why. Soon enough, I think they're going to have like a face attached to it too as well. So like it'll be like a little person talking back to me. And not only will they have a voice, but they'll have a face attached to it. And it'll be like your own little personal assistant, virtual assistant. And I think that's just so sick. I think everything about it's amazing.
Oh yeah, no, it's just sit back and buckle up because it's getting crazier. And it's like the way, I forget the stat or whatever it is, but like how long it takes for us to like progress like technology wise, like what would have taken us, from 10 years, it like gets cut in half every single time. So now like the technology we're going to be dealing with in like a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, like the gap is just insane. Like it's crazy. Like we look back even before AI, like we were already like, well, what's going to happen next? We already feel like we're pretty maxed out. And then like AI hits over and you're like, oh goodness, like who knows where that's going to go. And like, oh yeah, no, it's just super exciting to bear witness to it and try and harness as much as possible, because yeah, it makes life a lot easier when used properly. Yeah, so definitely something that we'll be diving into a little bit further. But yeah, guys, that's probably it for us today. We're very happy to be back. We'll be consistent with this. We'll have all sorts of stuff going on. Any requests or any questions or anything like that, just reach out to us. And if you're looking to be a guest on the podcast, again, we've got a long lineup now, but if that's something you're interested in, reach out. On top of that, again, any real estate needs for mortgages or realtor, I certainly have you covered there. And yeah, looking forward to getting back into the swing of this.
No, I agree. And just to kind of echo what he said there about future guests, please reach out to us. Like, we do have a list of people, but we want to use this platform to kind of give people an opportunity to just tell their story. We think that's the beauty of these podcasts, right? Me and Ian get to come on here every week and just kind of talk about our lives. There's so many benefits to podcasts, obviously, but even if you're not ready to make the leap and start your own podcast, just being on a guest of one can do wonders for everything, to be honest with you. Just expanding your network, all these things. We'll make clips for you to share on your social media, all that stuff. So yeah, we're just a DM away. I'm Shift Properties and Refined Real Estate Nova Scotia, or you can probably just message Ian directly on his personal account. It's just his name, Ian Armour. But yeah, give us a show. We're always happy to chat and hopefully have you on a guest someday.
All right, guys. Thanks again. We'll see you next week.
Awesome, guys. See ya.